We all have 24 hours in a day, every single human 24 hours. And yet some of us have incredible results and some of us have incredibly bad results. The reason for this is how we use our time has incredible leverage. If we use our time wisely, we can live in a magical world where we feel like we're using our time wisely. We feel like we're reaching our potential. We're becoming the person we want to become. We're reaching our goals. Whereas if we don't use our time wisely, we can be in a group of people filled with regret and hate for the world, feel like we're wasting our time and that we're not reaching our potential. I personally know millionaires that work between 4 to 8, maybe 4 to 10 hours a week. And the reason they're able to do that and still get such good results is because they've truly mastered a wise use of their time. And this spreadsheet's going to show you how to do that. If you have a short attention span and you find yourself wanting to click off of this video, I urge you not to. You're literally shooting yourself in the foot. If you spend the next few minutes watching this video, the return on investment you can get is incredible. Hours and hours and hours saved and hours put towards good use in the future. So keep watching on this video if you have a short attention span. I remember very clearly the first day of lectures when I went to university. Within probably half an hour I knew that I'd made a mistake. I mean, the lecturers were unenthusiastic, they'd just done a lot of research and not done anything in practicality. I knew it wasn't for me very quickly, so I set a goal for myself that I was gonna do something. By the end of uni I was gonna start some kind of an online business or find some way to earn an income so that it wasn't too risky just for me to drop out and go completely out into the blank. And unlike Alice in Wonderland, I had a goal for myself. I had a direction.
I just wanted to ask you which way I ought to go.
Well, that depends on where.
Well, it really doesn't matter.
But just because I had the goal doesn't mean that I knew the direction that I should take in order to get there. I remember going on YouTube and figuring out ways to make money. I would learn about fulfillment by Amazon and drop shipping and eBay businesses, and every single day I would wake up and I wouldn't really know how to use my time, and would you have guessed it, that didn't lead to the best results. For months it felt like I was stagnating. I was treading water, I had a goal and I was working hard, I was doing all of this research, but I was never really making any progress. And when I look at people and I speak with people that have gone through the procrastination program, there's a couple questions that they ask themselves every single day. First of all, it's what do I want? And second of all, it's how do I get there? And if you don't know the answers to these two questions, your life's gonna be chaos. It's literally like, how on earth can you do anything if you don't know what you want and you don't know how to get there? What you've got to do is you've got to come up with some kind of a scientific way to figure out how you want to get to your end goal. And this moves us on to the first of 3 steps when it comes to the spreadsheet that changed my life. In the links in the description, there's going to be a link for you to download this spreadsheet completely free. That's an action item so that you can actually go through this with me. Instead of just theorizing about how to change your life, we can actually go through the steps of figuring out how you should be spending your time. And to truly understand the first step, the first part to the spreadsheet, we've got to understand the theory of constraints. Now, the theory of constraints is a business methodology that was actually taken from a novel, a storybook written by Goldratt. And in the theory of constraints, but very, very simply, there's a lot more to it, but put simply, it states that in any kind of a business or in any kind of a workflow, whenever you're trying to achieve something, there's going to be a series of events that have to happen. And in those series of events, there's going to be a bottleneck. There's going to be something that's constraining the throughput of that goal being achieved. So if we take to a modern example, let's talk about Amazon. Amazon didn't have capacity to ship products out quick enough due to the coronavirus situation, so their bottleneck was warehousing. And they literally had to say, no, we're not accepting orders, or orders are going to take multiple days instead of 1 day, because the bottleneck is in the warehousing. Most businesses' problem isn't that they're unable to fulfill the demand, it's that there's not enough demand there in the first place. So for most businesses, the bottleneck is traffic, getting people aware of the solution that they're providing. So the theory of constraints says that whenever you're trying to solve a problem, you've got to figure out what are the constraints, what are the bottlenecks that are stopping me from achieving this thing. And then you spend all of your time and all of your resources on widening up that bottleneck. Instead of just thinking, oh, I've got to work towards my goal, I've got to try and earn more money. The theory of constraints says identify the bottlenecks and work at removing that. And this is a great mental model that's going to allow you to see things with more clarity. It's going to allow you to bring order into the chaos, to really try and identify the sticking points that you're having, the reasons that you're not reaching your goals. So whatever your problem is, whatever your grand problem is, try and zoom out. Instead of just saying, I'm not earning enough money, this is again an example, or I'm not reaching my goals, try and zoom out. The ancient Stoics had an exercise where they would literally view themselves and the problems they were having from a third-person point of view. This makes you unemotional and you're really able to travel upstream. Imagine there's a tribe of people living next to a river, and all of a sudden there's blood in their water, so they're unable to drink it. Instead of trying to purify the water and constantly trying to fix the problem where they're at, instead travel upstream, remove the goat that has died further upstream in the water that's contaminating the water, and then you're able to remove the problem upstream. Instead of just focusing specifically on the grand problem, try and zoom out, identify the flow of things that are causing you to not reach your goals, and identify the constraints. And then we go to our spreadsheet. First of all, you've got to make a list of all of the different problems that you're having. Then you've got to identify how big of a problem is this? How much of a bottleneck is this for stopping the throughput of you reaching your goals? Once you've done that, then figure out how many hours a week you're willing to dedicate to these problems. All of these problems in total, how much time are you willing to spend? Now, in this spreadsheet, we've got a calculator that's going to spit out the exact amount of time that you should be spending on your problems relative to how big of a problem that it is. So instead of spending so much time on tiny problems, don't sweat the small stuff. This spreadsheet's going to give you scientific, objective data on how much time you should be spending on each of your problems. And the thing is, we create budgets for our money, we recognize the importance of money, but arguably, time is more important than money. Once we spend money, we can get it back, but once time is gone, we can't get it back. So the next step is to create a budget for your time, to really figure out what is a wise use of your time. And this brings us on to the next part of the spreadsheet, where you're going to go through and create a weekly routine. Now, some of you are thinking, oh, weekly routine, this is boring, but let me really drill it into your head, why this is a practice that can completely change your life. There are 6 reasons. First of all, when you create a weekly routine, you always know what to do and when to do it. Whenever you're having to ask yourself the question, what should I do next? There's an opportunity for you to answer with the wrong thing and for you to get distracted. This brings so much clarity into your life when you allocate your limited resource of time into specific topics. Second of all, no more flip-flopping. Flip-flopping is what I call it when you do one thing and you change to another thing and you change back to another thing. If you sit down and take the time to create a weekly routine, you're getting logical with the best use of your time instead of letting your emotional brain decide what you should be doing and when you should be doing it. Third of all, you front-load decision-making. Whenever you have to ask, what should I be doing next? Not only is there an opportunity for you to get the answer wrong, but also it's taking a load on your cognitive mind. It's draining to constantly have to think about what you should be doing next. Map it all out beforehand, front load all of the decision making, so that as you go about your day-to-day life, what you've got to do is follow the plan instead of trying to create the plan and follow the plan at the same time. Fourth, you're able to distinguish cause from effect. So we have all of these results in our life. The situation you're in now is a result of all of the previous decisions that we've made. But because the previous decisions that you've made and that I used to make weren't catalogued and were so random, it's difficult to identify what are the causes in the decision that I made that caused the effects that for me to have. What did I do that caused me to live in the life that I'm in now? Because the causes are so varied, the effect, it's difficult to figure out what caused us to be in the situation that we're in now. Whereas if you have a fixed routine, you have a fixed cause, it's so much easier to say, this is the reason why I'm in the position I'm in now. Fifth, you're able to scientifically iterate and improve. You're able to consciously tweak how you're spending your time in order to speed up the progress that you're making. And sixth, the power of a routine is incredible. This is like habits on steroids because your brain's going to automatically be thinking about the next task because you do it so regularly. And when it comes to creating the routine, just go to the spreadsheet and use the key. So first of all, plot when you're going to be sleeping. Ideally, you're waking up up and going to bed at the same time, even on the weekends. Plot in when you're going to be taking breaks, when you're going to be exercising, when you're going to be working, when you're going to be relaxing, and just plot in how you want to be spending your time using the Google spreadsheet. And once you've done that, the next step is to take this over and to put it into a Google Calendar. Set each of the events to be repeating events so that they're happening every single week, and now set notifications on so that on your phone you get a notification about what you should be doing, so that you have triggers reminding you of what you should be doing and when you should be doing it. All in all, this is a framework that's going to really allow you to leverage your time so that in the limited time that you have, you're able to deliver far more results. So the action item is to go through, follow the steps, click the link in the description, get the spreadsheet, go through it, really figure out how you want to be spending your time. And if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more of them, let the algorithm know by liking the video, subscribing, and commenting your experiences and how you want to be spending your time. And that way YouTube's going to show you more of these videos. And this video is in the Changed My Life playlist. If you want to have more videos that can change your life, click just here.